Hey there, this is Fritz Westover with Virtual Viticulture Academy, and I am in a vineyard today that is trained to a high cordon. It is known as the Watson system. If you look to my right here, your left, you'll see that there's a cordon being developed on this vine. On this side, we have a cordon that's already been developed with spur positions separating out. If you want to find out more about how the Watson system works, find that in the grower guide section at virtualviticultureacademy.com. What I'm going to talk about today is an important step in training our cordons from an established trunk. So what I'm going to do is walk you through what happened last year with this vine. During dormant pruning, it was trunks. So we had a good trunk that was developed from a 1-year-old cane from the bottom, and it was brought all the way up to this fruiting wire right here. And it was at least 3/8 of an inch. You can see it's a little bigger now because it's 2-year-old wood. And the whole objective of trunking that vine is in a moderate vigor vineyard like this vineyard here in Texas, we allowed 1, 2, 3 of the top uppermost bud positions to grow into shoots. Now those shoots are dormant. So we have 1, 2, 3 dormant canes. It's 1-year-old wood. That's the fruitful wood. And that's what we want to build our structures from, like trunks and cordons. We've already built the trunk the year before. We trunked the vine. And now it's our time to select the best 2 of those canes to lay down on the wire to make cordons. Now, I personally am very pleased with this situation because the uppermost positions are at least 3/8 of an inch or 8 to 10 millimeters in diameter. They're long enough to be placed on the wire, so we get about 5 to 7 bud positions on the wire, and we have 1 for each direction. So what I'll do here is I'll cut off the laterals and tendrils and free up this, okay, so I can work with it. And if you notice a lateral on here, we would never leave as a spur. The reason I'm saying that is at the base of every lateral, there's a nice big bud. Okay. There's a bud at every single one of these node positions. I don't want any growth to come from small wood. I want it to come from the big wood at the base. So what I'll do is I'll bring this up on top of the wire, keeping my trunk straight. We can put a tie here. We can lay this cane down. Okay. And as long as we have 3/8 of an inch, we can lay down almost as much as we want. My rule of thumb, if you've seen me in other videos, is where it touches the wire, I put my fist to my elbow. That's approximately 15 inches or about 5 to 7 buds. And we'll lay that on top of the wire, never twisting it around the wire. Go one more back here. And that is the length that we want for our extension. So we'll put 1 tie here and 1 tie here between these 2 node positions. And with this bud, we'll grow another shoot this season coming up, and that will extend our cordon so we can complete this in a 2-step process. Now, I have another one over here, and this lower one I'm probably not going to use because I'm going to keep it there just as a backup to make sure I can bend this one where I want it to. Clean up those laterals, leaving just a little bit of space wood there. Okay, just a little bit of space wood because we don't want to cut too close to the base. And I'm going to go ahead and take this one out, and I'm going to cut this here, because I think I have more than enough to put down on this wire. So what I'll do now is the same thing I did on the other side. I'll measure that to the wire. Once I get to the wire, I'll bring that cane down. It's okay if it crinkles and crunches a little bit, as long as we don't snap it. And that is our length that we want. And in fact, that fills the wire to our next cordon. We still want the hand space between where cordons. Now, you might say that we could go ahead because we have 2 good canes and just simply remove this lower cane, which is not necessary. But what if we get a freeze in the spring and it knocks back our shoots that grow out of this one that I'm tying down on the wire? What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this for just 1 season as a backup. We're going to take it down to a 1 count, 2 count bud spur, cut here and leave that spur in place. And that's only temporary until we know that we're going to get good solid push from all of our bud positions to make our cordon this season. And then next year we could properly shut this spur position down if everything looks good up here. And so that is just a good backup that you can do if it's provided on your vine. If you have a spur below here, go ahead and leave it for 1 year. But that's about it. I think that demonstrates how we can get our nice T-shape and extend our cordons and have a backup. And this is what you would do if you trunked the vine the year before.